What's up everyone, my name is Cam and thank you so much for tuning in to Carolina Fragrance Reviews. Okay, so today I am doing something a little bit different. I've done this once before where I just did a complete blind smell and rate. Actually, I think the last time I did that I might have smelled maybe one or two out of all of them. It was when I did BDK, but I'm going over Argos today and I have never smelled any of these. And I've heard some really positive things about this brand and not so positive. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my initial thoughts and what I think after the dry down, and if those high marks or low marks are warranted in my opinion. Without any further ado, let's get into this. So how I acquired these, I was talking to my friend Travis and he was really stoked about this brand, and he actually bought 3 bottles and said that, you know, each time you buy a full presentation, they send you the entire line out in samples. So actually kind of smart. So if you fall in love with one enough to buy a full bottle, you might fall in love with some more if you have samples, especially if you buy another one and they send them again, you know, maybe eventually you'll buy the entire line. So what we have here is obviously there's one that is clearly marketed for women, and then I'm assuming that the other 4 are probably considered unisex, except wait, I think there was one, here we go, yeah, Pour Homme's gonna have to be for men, and then we got Pour Femme. So 1 man, 1 woman, 3 unisex, I'm assuming. If I'm wrong, just let me know down in the comments. So being that I have only 5 fragrances, I think I can wing this on my arms. That way we're not using tester strips, which I brought, but they're not as trusting, especially on first impressions. So we're gonna see if we can do without that. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Pour Homme, and I imagine this is going to be a freshie from the notes. You've got some gin, orange slices, lemon, lime, pine, lavender, violet, jasmine, vetiver, sage, amber, neroli, and patchouli. So this sounds, just from reading the notes, that this is probably going to be a nice freshie. I could be wrong. So let's just, up high on the left, we'll know that we did Pour Homme. Get that thing going. That's nice. I mean, it's really fresh. You're definitely picking up those citruses. They, you know, it's really kind of effervescent, kind of popping up. Has a very clean vibe going on, and you're picking up on those little hints of, I guess, yeah, the pine. You definitely pick up on some of the pine, but not like overly, you know, pine. If you've ever smelled like pine sap, I'm not like saying it's like pine sap, but you do get a very kind of prickly green vibe as it's mixed with those citrus notes. Nice. I'm not so sure that I would buy it, but let it dry down before we decide that. But I mean, as far as first impressions, I don't think it smells bad. It smells very nice, actually. Signature scent, you know, something like Versace Pour Homme or something like that. But you can tell that these are, you know, high quality ingredients. Okay, so next up is gonna be Pour Femme. This is going to be the female's fragrance. So I'll just do the opposite of what I did with the Pour Homme. Go up high on the right arm. Now Argos is a brand that, from what I understand, does use high quality ingredients. Their presentations are like supposed to be real nice and heavy. I've seen them, I haven't held them. I mean, this is the only thing I've held from their brand, but the bottles do look really nice, and that's nice. That is super nice. I mean, just as I was talking, I started getting some hints. Actually, I think this one's definitely stronger than the Pour Homme, which is a good thing, because I mean, if you've got something that's like the one primary fragrance is completely marketed for a woman's fragrance, it's got something going on where it's, you know, not punching you upside the face, but it's definitely going to lure people in. And if I smell that on a woman, yeah, okie dokie, I'm gonna need to do that. So we'll just do a rundown of the notes real quick. We've got violet, bergamot, ginger, lemon, orange blossom, iris, pink pepper, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, sandalwood, amber, white musk, vanilla bean, and ylang ylang. Says it's an aromatic floral top notes produce a powerful yet intimate fragrance, and I would have to agree with that. And then it just goes on to describe how the fragrance develops. But that right there, yeah, I do want to smell that on a lady. So yeah, first impressions off of Prom, I like it. I don't really know that I'd buy it. For a Femme, I'll probably wind up buying it. So let's go ahead and hop into another one. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, forgive me. I think this one is supposed to be similar to Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather or Ombre Leather is Bacao Immortal. I think I'm pronouncing that right because it's got chow, Bacao. B-A-C-I-O, so I'm assuming maybe that's how it's pronounced. So, yeah, I think this might be, I'm pretty sure this, by the notes, this is probably the one that people were talking about was similar to, I think it might have been Tuscan Leather. So we're gonna go a little bit lower over here, and we are doing the Bacao Immortal. Yep, definitely got that Tuscan Leather vibe, but there's a sweetness in here. So you know how in Tuscan Leather you get that raspberry note? This, I haven't even looked to see if raspberry's in this thing. Yeah, there's raspberry in here, but it's like a much sweeter raspberry, which if some of you don't really particularly like Tuscan Leather, you might actually like this a little more. Just going off the opening. But on Tuscan Leather, the opening's a little bit abrasive. This one's a little bit easier to take in, but I like that abrasiveness about the Tuscan Leather. But the notes in this are bergamot, lemon, pepper, raspberry, violet, jasmine, leather, pink peppercorn, musk. It's got leather again as a base note. It's got a little bit of oud in here, okay? Birch and vanilla. So, I actually can pick up a little bit of that vanilla. You're getting the leather, you're getting a hint of that violet, a little bit of freshness with that bergamot, like when it first comes out. I actually like that. I like that a lot. That might be one, well, we'll go to those dry downs. I don't want to call anything too early, but first impressions on that. I like it, but it does seem like it's inspired by Tuscan Leather, but there's a lot of other leather fragrances out there that have that similar vibe, but I can see where people would say that this might be like an inspired by fragrance, but they did something different with it, so kudos for that. Now this next fragrance I have not heard anything about whatsoever, so this one is, and I might butcher the hell out of this too, so if I do, forgive me. Bravido della Caccia, Bravido della Caccia. I think that's right. If it's not, again, my apologies. It says the thrill of the chase. All right, so let's see what this thing is about. So we'll go top of left hand with the Bravido della Caccia. That's nice. It's got like it's definitely got a freshness, a little bit of a sweetness. It's got a little bit of like a green earthiness, a little bit. Like maybe some juniper or something in there. Yeah, okay, there's some juniper in here. So I'll just go ahead and go over the notes. It's pink pepper, clary sage. Yeah, you definitely get that sage. Juniper, Mat Absolute or Mate Absolute is probably that is the correct way to pronounce that. We got Iris Concrete, Oil of Flouve. It's F-L-O-U-V-E. I've never heard of that, so sorry if I'm killing that. Next is Tonka Bean Absolute. You got leather. And what it is, there's this, they have these big descriptions. That's why I'm like, it's because you got supple leather accord, you got oil of birch, and then you've got amber accord. So this is creative. I like this fragrance for the fact that it is creative. And same thing, I mean, like, okay, the Pour Femme, it smells fantastic, and it doesn't smell, it doesn't ring a bell, let's just put it that way, as far as like something immediately. There are some other female fragrances in this wheelhouse, but this is like really nice. But back to this Delicacia. This is different in a good way. Now, I'd also have to say that maybe for someone who is not a fragrance enthusiast, it might not be an instant love for them, where the first two would definitely be instant loves. And then of course, whether you like leather fragrances or not would definitely determine our previous fragrance. But for a fragrance enthusiast, I think this might be the creative one out of the lot so far, because I think our last one is going to be one that is supposed to be similar to something else. We'll come back to that. We got one more spot right here for the Triumph of Bacchus, and this is the one I've heard the most about, and I've heard a lot of positive things about it. The only thing negative is some people just dismiss it. Okay, it's a red tobacco clone, but I've also heard some really good things, like it's has a similar DNA, but they take it and do some different things, and I really hope that is the whole gist of it. I can deal with a similar scent profile, but I just don't want it to be too much like it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I mean, I get the red tobacco vibe. I was really expecting this to be a lot more like it, though. It's not. This is nice, actually. On red tobacco, those of you who have smelled red tobacco, that opening can be very abrasive. Some people are like, nah, man, I can't even handle the opening. They won't even wait for the dry down. I don't mind the opening of red tobacco. I love the dry down. But really, this is, that's where I get a little aggravated. Now, okay, on the Tuscan Leather, yeah, I feel y'all. Whoever has said that, I feel you. Now, it is sweeter, it is different, but it still has striking similarities. We're kind of pulling hen's teeth on the red tobacco on this, in my opinion, anyway. It's in there, just hints of it, but it's got like a creaminess. It's cleaner than red tobacco. It almost has like a booziness about it. Okay, so let's read what it says about this. It says this luxurious scent is shrouded in grandeur and mystery. Argos Triumph of Bacchus is a luxurious fragrance, opening with spicy saffron, royal green apple, and rum notes. Still spelt the same way. Confident and refined tobacco is perfectly paired with amber and vanilla, revealing a powerfully seductive and almost sinful aphrodisiac. I could see where, especially like if you had a female that likes smelling different fragrances. I mean, red tobacco to me, and of course this is not red tobacco. I wouldn't wear that as a date night scent unless I was dating someone that already liked it. I think that might be the same case for this. I don't know. Now it's just, okay, let's just get a full dry down. Okay, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. But this is a more creative line than I anticipated. So let's just go back to fragrance 1, which was Pour Homme. Nice, clean dry down. Not overly impressed. It's nice. It's clean. I like it. I don't dislike it. But if you're talking about a niche fragrance, it's nice. I don't think that I would pull the trigger on it. Again, it's not that I dislike it, just nothing mind-blowing or groundbreaking. Okay, now let's go back to the Pour Femme. And that has dried down very nicely. Yes. Okay, so big thumbs up for the Femme. Like that a lot. Very, very sexy. It has a seductive vibe. It has a type of scent profile that I really like to smell in a woman. It does smell feminine. It does smell dainty in a way, but then at the same time, it smells a little bit naughty. So yeah, I like that. And on that dry down, you are picking up slight hints of those white florals with that vanilla. And let's see if there's musk in here. So yeah, you're gonna be picking up little hints of the iris, the jasmine, I think, was it? Yep, it's got jasmine and yangling. So yeah, you got a couple white florals in here. Yeah. A little bit of amber and vanilla. I like that one a lot. So 2 big thumbs up for that one. And now we shall go to, yeah, that was the Bachao Immortal. There it is. Very much like Tuscan Leather. Now the opening was like, it was really, I like that opening. The dry down actually smells more like Tuscan Leather, just not as abrasive. It has a smoothness that's a little bit unique to Tuscan Leather. I'd rock this. It doesn't, of course, I don't even want to say I don't think that it would have the performance that Tuscan Leather does, because if you guys have ever just used one of these and then when you can actually get the bottle and get like big sprays, it does make a big difference. So I'm not going to gauge performance off of this. It's just going to be like opening, drying down, like it, dislike it, worth it, not worth it. Let's just do it, make it that way, because I don't think it's fair to, unless I just sit there and did the whole freaking sample, which would be kind of crazy. But it doesn't seem like it has a performance of Tuscan Leather, but I like it. I like it a lot. It smells very good. I like the sweetness of it. I like the, you know, how the Tuscan Leather kind of has jagged edges. This has smooth edges. May have very much been inspired by it, but I dig it. I like it. Okay, now coming back to Brvido de la Cacha. This was the one that is the unique one. The one that doesn't smell like anything I've smelled before. Okay. I like the dry down. I like the opening a lot better. There was a lot more going on. But I don't know. Yeah, I do. I do like it. I do like it, but take that with a grain of salt. For fragrance enthusiasts, I think that you might like this. I would say at least get you one of these at the very least. See if you can get a couple of them. It's got a little bit of like an animalic vibe to it, but not in a bad way. Not because I actually like some of that. And I'm not saying like funky fecal or nothing like that. It's just a little bit of carnal vibe to it. And I better use that a little loosely, because I don't want you to think it's like super sexy, because it would just have to go according to your taste. I don't think that this was exactly designed to be a sexy fragrance, so I didn't even read the story on this thing. Okay, so I'll be careful with the carnal statement. It doesn't come off like, yes, I'm just so sexy, but there's something about it that, okay, well, here you go. Wildly romantic. I don't think it is a romantic fragrance though, but that's okay. There we go. Animalistic fragrance. Accents of leather and birch, wood. Equally bold as it is romantic. I don't think it's romantic, but I do probably more like maybe like after romance turned into like once you can really let your hair down with your partner. That's what I get. It's more of like that kind of rough stuff, maybe. All right, and last but not least, the Triumph of Bacchus. And this has dried down very nicely. I like this a lot, and actually in the dry down it does have more of the red tobacco vibe, but it's still doing its own thing. So much so that I would, if I was describing a fragrance, I'd say, okay, you know how you get this or that from red tobacco? That'd be about it. It wouldn't be like, okay, well, this was straight up inspired by red tobacco and they just did a little tweaking. It don't smell that way to me. And I like it a lot. It's very creamy. I would imagine that this has really good performance because this one has like just a little sprays on my hand. It's just like, just sitting there like that. So yeah, big thumbs up for this one as far as just like overall scent. And that's when I'm saying this one, we're talking about the Triumph Bacchus. And then as far as the Rovida della Caccia, I give this a big thumbs up for being unique and that little bit of carnal vibe. I dig that, But again, that's going to be very subjective to you and your partner. And then the Bacciao Mortel is dope. I like it. It's a great leather fragrance. I love Tuscan Leather. I like the little added nuances they did. That one's a little closer to, being inspired by than what I'd heard so much about Triumph Bacchus. And then of course, I think you guys know how I feel about Pour Homme and Pour Femme. So overall, pretty dope house. I like it. I was thinking it was going to be like really hard to separate what they were doing from some of the other brands that everybody has, kind of just been barking always. It's a clone house. You guys have heard that about Parfums de Marly and a couple other houses. So yeah, it's standalone. Got some unique stuff and then not so unique, but overall high quality. So down in the comments, let me know if you've tried any of these. If you have, which ones have you tried? Give me your thoughts. Do you feel like I'm spot on with how I feel about it, or do you feel completely different? Until next time, I'll see you on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.